Hi, Tracy's Kitchen Appalachian Adventures. I'm going to talk to you today about why do contractors hire illegals? Why do they do that? Okay. Now, what is an illegal? The person not supposed to be in this country. They are undocumented. What does undocumented means? It means that they don't have a birth certificate. There's no documentation of the birth certificate. If they are students, there's no documentation of any schools they went to. Marriage, if they say they're married, there's no documentation of marriage because you have to have a social security number to have a marriage license. There's no special licenses to say, okay, I'm a carpenter or whatever. There's no death certificate. It's whether they die or not. I mean, for the students, there's no transcript. So I guess what the school system does is say, okay, they're 13, put them in the 6th, 7th, or the 8th grade. I don't know how they do it. Now, I'm basically talking about white contractors and black contractors. Now, let's face it, the majority of really big contractors are white. I'm talking about the ones who build the hospitals, build these expensive houses of $300,000 homes. Those are basically white contractors. Now, there are black contractors who do this or do that. And I know black contractors hire illegals, but I'm talking about the white contractors who have these big contracts. Why do they hire illegals to build, sidewalks and things like that? And let's face it, whoever builds this wall, $1 billion contractor, this is probably $1 billion plus contractor, he's going to hire illegals to build the wall. There's a lot of irony in that. He's going to hire undocumented immigrants to keep out their own brethren from the country. There's a lot of irony in that. But that's what's going to happen when they build this wall. And I'm sure they already plan on hiring undocumented immigrants. They already plan on hiring it. Okay? Whoever the contractor is that's going to build this wall. Okay? For one thing, the contractors can give them an artificially low salary. Pay it in cash. It's non-reportable. You do not have to report it to the state. There's no federal, state, and local taxes. There's no Medicare taxes, no Social Security taxes, which is about 15% of the whole income. In other words, if they paid them $7 an hour, by the time they figure in all these taxes, it would be $13 to $14 an hour if they were documented. But they're undocumented, so it's just $7 in cash. Bye. Now, they do get what the contractors want. They want to get the job done quickly with no complaints. That's what they want. And evidently, they do get the job done without complaints. Now, I observe construction sites. I just watch them. And what you see a lot when black men get on the construction site, they do all this talking and all this chit-chatting, which that's not what they're being paid to do. The black man doesn't understand they're not being paid to talk. And when the white man gets on the contract, he just does a little bit of nothing. And so the illegal, particularly the Central American illegal, they don't do all that chit-chat on the construction site. They just, you want me to do this? I'll do this. I'll get the job done. And sometimes, though, like the white man, they do a little bit of nothing. Sometimes the white man, I'm not being racist, idiots. Sometimes the white man does a little bit of nothing because I see them. I'm watching a construction site right now where this big fat white man, he stands in this one spot all day long and does nothing. He just looks busy. He's paying $15 an hour to do that. He does absolutely nothing all day. All he does is move this bucket over here and move this bucket over there. And then, you know what, maybe he's not even doing that. He does nothing all day because I watch this construction site. Now, sometimes the Central Americans, they do a little bit of nothing, too. I remember seeing one Central American, he took a hammer and hammered the wheelbarrow. See, he's making noise so people can think he's busy. Sometimes what the Central Americans do, they would move a brick over here and then go over here and move the brick over there, just so they can pretend that they're busy. Or they'll take one of those, a piece of a platform that's used for painting. They'll take a piece over here and move it over there. See, that way the superintendent thinks they're busy. But they aren't. They're just doing a little bit of nothing. But they're being paid to do a little bit of nothing, so who cares? Okay? Frankly, if they're going to do a little bit of nothing, I don't understand why they don't hire women. I mean, at least women would get the job done. Women wouldn't waste all this time trying to pretend that they are busy. Women wouldn't do that. But they won't hire women. And actually, we are probably just as strong as the men. I know I'm surely stronger than most of those Central Americans. All they do is move stuff from one area to another, but getting paid $20 an hour for doing a little bit of nothing. Because I watch these construction sites. They do a little bit of nothing. How the building goes up is beyond me. But somehow the buildings go up. And I tell you, even though they hire illegals, they do a little bit of nothing. Because sometimes I would watch them. I would watch them for about 15 minutes. And they do a little bit of nothing. Like I said, the black man talks too much. The white man don't do. He pretended he doing something. So I never understand contractors anyway. Why they pay people to do nothing. But somehow, the building gets done. And go figure that one out. So, and then the illegals. What's the truth? The illegals have outsmarted the United States. The United States is supposed to be the most scientific, the most developed militarily nation on the earth. But these people, these primitive people from these primitive countries, I'm not going to use the words that Donald Trump used, from primitive countries, they have outsmarted the most powerful nation on earth. Okay? They get hired, no problem, without a resume, no background check, no nothing. No special licenses required. They don't have a driver's license. They get a driver's license without a social security number. They get apartments with no credit check. And I understand that because the government pays 100% of their rent. Okay? They get a car without a credit check. Go figure that one out. Okay? They get welfare. And once they get welfare, they get housing, which the government pays. They get food, $300 per person per child. And they get a check every month. So all these welfare women got to do is sit home and have a baby every 9 months, and that's what they do. Uncle Sam is going to pay for those children until they're 18 years old. They know that. So if they have, one 16-year-old, government's going to pay for that child until he's 18, and then they're going to have another one. So if they have an 18-month-old baby, the government's going to pay for that child for the next 18 years, and those welfare women know that. They know it. Okay, so that's basically what, as much as I can figure out, why they hire illegals, because they pay them in cash, which is non-reportable, and they don't pay all these federal, state, and local taxes, no Medicare taxes, no Social Security taxes, and the illegals get the job done without complaint, without all this chit chat. Like if I ask a black man, like I said, black men talk too much on a construction site. If I ask a black man to do this, to do that, he just chit chats. I can't stand that chit chat. Blah, 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 blah. I cannot stand it. So guess what? You're not hired, okay? And then the white man, if I try to hire a white man to do this, he'll say, "Why you got this wrong. That's going to cost you an extra $400. You ain't getting nothing. You're not hired either. Bye." So most of the time I just end up doing it myself, okay? So what happens is that illegals, they don't do all that chit chat. They just get the job done. So that's some of the reasons why they hire illegals. Y'all have a nice day.